Hello and welcome back. Now before I start, first I have to say thanks to my entire corporation and thanks to every single member that participated in manufacturing this ship. This ship is the product of our corporation's team efforts, and this is our current flagship. Well, I used to love this ship in EVE Online. It would be appropriate to fly this ship in EVE Echoes as well. This ship does have some very interesting features to it. Now, first, this might be the longest faction battleship currently available in the game. Its size is actually pretty close to the carriers. It is also very fast for its size, another thing that's characteristic for angel ships. Now let's go straight into the ship's characteristics. Current event, the Valentine's event, will give you one special skin for this ship, but I like to prefer this original skin. I like the camouflage pattern, although having a camouflage in space is kind of weird, but I like to joke that the camouflage gives the ship a small signature radius. And here you can see the new skin. I mean, it's a nice skin, but I don't like the color pattern of it, so I think I'm just going to wait for another one. Now on to the trait characteristics. So this is a battleship. It has a good roll bonus, which will give you plus 50% warp speed, plus 50% warp acceleration, plus 5 seconds damage control activation time. Advanced large cannon operation bonus pro will give you plus 5% large cannon damage, minus 5% large cannon activation time. The advanced battleship command bonus pro level will give you plus 7.5% large cannon tracking speed and plus 10.5% large cannon accuracy fall-off. Overall, the bonuses on these skills are generally very similar to the bonuses on the Cinnabel, and the roll bonus is also quite similar, not to say it is actually the same. This ship has 2 drones, 8 high slots, 4 medium slots, 6 low slots, 3 combat rigs and 3 engineering rigs, quite a balanced shield and armor amount. The ship can both do a armor and shield tank. I personally prefer the shield tank variant of the ship. Quite a decent capacitor and quite decent capacitor recharge rate. A very small signature radius for a battleship, 240 centimeters. This ship's hull is 1.5 kilometers long, so yeah, quite a small signature radius. It is also warping quite fast for a battleship, and it is also quite heavy. Now on to the fits. Well, with this ship I will experiment a lot for storylines, for missions, for fleet PvE operations, and for special anomalies, dead space anomalies. I like to run a fit that's similar to this one. On the high slots I have C-type large autocannons. This ship can have very high DPS. I'm sitting at 1.5 thousand DPS, cold DPS, and these cannons should have up to 60 kilometers range. If you have maxed out skills, I think you can even hit 100 kilometers. In the medium slots, 1 scrambler, 1 painter, dual webs, and 2 drones. I have medium drones. I have excellent skills for the medium drones. Currently not having great skills for the large drones, but this ship can fit large drones, medium drones, and the webs and scrambler can be used against frigates, because frigates and overall all the small and fast ships can be a problem for battleships. Keep in mind, large cannons have very poor tracking, so you will have to rely on other means to slow down and of course help the cannons to hit frigates and other fast ships. Large afterburner, large shield booster, dual invulnerability field, a damage control, and 1 gyro. As you know me, I like to replace one invulnerability filter with one reactive. In most cases that works. With this ship you can also use a MVD. Now remember that angel ships love speed and they have very good bonuses on speed. The Machariel is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, battleship in the game. You can get some very impressive speeds. You will see later the speed of the MVD, and this is the PvE fit that I will mostly use. At the moment I made this ship very tanky while retaining decent DPS. Now you can replace one reactive or one invulnerability filter with one gyro if you want to keep the DPS up. Okay, now on to the fun part. Let's see how this Machariel will perform. Now here I am with my fleet, and well, we have several other battleships with us. You can see a rattlesnake over there, and somewhere over there should be a nightmare, all of which are very nice ships. We are doing tier 10 anomalies, should be a large anomaly, not quite sure, might be a medium tier 10 anomaly. And we are trying to get some special anomalies to spawn. If we're lucky, we will get a dead space. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Would be more than happy to use this ship in a dead space. Now there are some differences between a battleship and, let's say, a battlecruiser or a cruiser. These ships are slow, and you know me, I like fast ships. So in this case I'll have to get used to the slow nature of these ships, and I'll have to get used to be in a fleet because these ships are definitely a lot relying on fleet support, which in this case I think the support part was covered pretty well. I mean, we have a nightmare that's giving us shield and giving the bubble, so our shields are actually pretty safe from any incoming damage. And our firepower is also pretty decent. As you can see, we are melting, we're deleting these ships very quickly. Now, for this type of PvE activity, I prefer to use autocannons because I'll be sticking close to most of these ships. In most cases, sticking close to the fleet commander in the nightmare, because, well, I don't want to make the fleet commander angry if I leave the bubble. Now orbiting is something I can try, but the sheer size of this ship makes it easy to leave the bubble. So yeah, I don't want to try that, but you can do it if you build the ship to be agile enough. But in this case I prefer to approach the flagship and to be close and safe. In this case that works very well. Okay, that Abaddon is going down. We are all using the target painters, a very good module that works very good for projectile turrets. In this case, for the autocannons, it works very well. It increases the signature radius of your target, making them easier to hit. And, well, in my case, it increases accuracy and it increases the number of wrecking or smashing shots that you land on your targets. And in in translation, that increases your damage output on the enemy ships. Now, speaking of enemy ships, you will see a very good example of how you can stop a interceptor in its tracks very soon. That's why I have the dual webs and the scrambler in. Kind of a necessary build to have in a battleship, because you don't want to have fast ships orbiting you at close range. They can easily outmaneuver your turrets. And in that case, if it is PvP, then your battleship is in big trouble. Because that frigate might not have enough DPS to shoot you down 1 versus 1. But that frigate is definitely going to call for help if it manages to catch, let's say, a Machariel. So you need to have defenses against these small ships if you fly a slow and large vehicle like a battleship, for example. Now, in this case, I am in a fleet. I am more than safe in this fleet. None of these players would leave me alone, right? I hope they would not. I mean, I'll find that out eventually. I am focusing on that apocalypse, although I should focus on the closer ships. In this case, the battleships are shooting down the battle cruisers and other battleships, while the friendly cruisers, destroyers, frigates, battle cruisers are shooting down the enemy cruisers and frigates. That way, the big ships can keep the small ships safe, and the small ships can keep the big ships safe. A tactic that would be used in PvP a lot, especially in large scale battles where you will have to protect your long range DPS ships, your snipers if you wanna call them like that. Well, I got webbed, and because again of the sheer size of this ship, this web covers the entire screen. Oh my god. I mean, one thing that I'll have to get used to is this ship filling the screen, because it is so big that, well, let's say it covers the screen a lot and it reduces the visibility a lot. So I'll have to get used to, use the zoom out feature a lot, although I like to look at my ships and, enjoy the beauty of these monsters, but well, sometimes I have to sacrifice that for efficiency, which matters in some cases a lot. Well, finally I can broadside ships, because that's what battleships tend to do. Okay, finally we spawned a special anomaly, warping in at that special anomaly right now. Despite its size, the Machariel can be very fast. It is indeed a very, very quick ship for a battleship, of course. It can warp faster than any other battleship in the game because of its bonus. And it's actually so fast, it can be faster in warp than battlecruisers. Now that poor interceptor got stopped in its tracks by the dual webs and by the scrambler, and this interceptor also wasn't lucky enough, so it got deleted. Speaking of the ship's speed, I was quite surprised to see that this ship is, well, the current Machariel that I am flying is actually faster than some battlecruisers with its afterburner or MVD on. And I'm kind of not surprised, because angel ships are known for their speed. That's why I generally like to use angel factions ships, because they are fast and they offer some very impressive PvP capabilities that I absolutely enjoy using. Okay, next wave of ships has arrived. I am focusing down on that interceptor, well, not interceptor, but battleship, my apologies. Didn't see the icon properly. This interceptor will potentially come within my web range if it doesn't get destroyed by my allies here. Well, it got destroyed by the allies, so that's good. The range of these turrets can reach up to 100 kilometers. I know in EVE Online you can make the Machariel shoot 100 kilometers with the auto cannons. You can do the same thing here. That would be actually perfect for storyline missions. The afterburner speed is something that I will improve. I want to have at least 1000 meters per second velocity with the afterburner on the Machariel. I mean, 620 meters per second is not bad for a battleship, but I would be more safe with 1000 meters per second with the afterburner. I mean, I can get that speed with the MVD, but the MVD will give me a signature radius penalty, and in that case the ship's signature radius would actually be over 1 kilometer, so that's something that I don't like. However, it is good if you want to keep range in PvP. That would be very necessary in PvP, especially if you are a sniper, if your ship is built to be a sniper. That means if I were to have large artillery, I would love to have a MVD, because I would be able to keep range from most ships, which is impressive for a battleship. Now I'm quite curious to know if you fly one of these battleships, which one you fly, and I'm curious about the DPS and speed, and of course the defense that you have on them. I kind of want to compare all of them to see which one works for me the best. So far I am absolutely satisfied and happy with a Machariel. Thanks to my awesome corporation, I am able to fly one, so I am very grateful for that. And well, the ship is not gonna get destroyed, that's a promise. Because the effort and the backstory of the ship is something I don't want to lose, so I'll keep this thing safe. Of course, you know, when I say I keep something safe, I like to use it in PvP. Well, when the time comes, I will. There are some projects that I'm working on, and I think you will love the next PvP video. It is quite action-packed, and it is actually, in that case, risky, because, well, you know, sometimes I do stumble upon a very dangerous opponent, and as always, my honor to fight such very skilled players. Okay, let's see. I think this should be one of the, well, it's not the last wave, of course. There are 2 more waves, I think. So far we are melting these ships. I'm kind of curious, how much DPS does this fleet have? At one point we had, I think, 4 battleships, 4 faction battleships. We like missed only the Balgorn. That ship is, yeah, we only missed we only missed that ship to have all 5 of them lined up in a Anomaly. Was quite a beautiful sight. Okay, last 2 ships, and that interceptor is the last one. Let's see if I can, well, I hit it, so I'm not gonna complain. Now, I'm not quite sure about the angel lore behind, but why the hell do they love enormous ships? Like, I did look at the whole sizes of these ships, and this ship is, I think, the longest battleship in the game at the moment. It is also the fastest, so it has both the size and the speed working for it, which is kind of weird. Same can be said about a Cinnabal. Cinnabal is literally longer than most battlecruisers. It has the same DPS as a battlecruiser, and it is 3 times faster than a battlecruiser. So angel ships are definitely very unique and overall very interesting. And of course, the most important part about them are the bonuses, which work for me the best. These are the skill bonuses that I need, and so far I had a blast flying these ships, and I had a blast at doing PvP with them as well. Okay, sorry for me getting distracted there for a moment. Had to look something over on the other screen. But I am back now, and 2 more ships are left, focusing on that apocalypse now. And the last ship of this wave would be that interceptor. There should be 1 more wave after this, not quite sure, but we will see what will happen. And there we go. 12 ships, some of them are faction ships that are gonna be my personal primary target. The highest alpha that I've ever had with these turrets is 9826, not a bad hit with the autocannons. With the artillery, I should be able to one-hit cruisers actually, with the current rigs, and overall with the current fit. Now, if I were to go full sniper, I would put at least 2 gyros to, help with the rate of fire and, to help with the damage output. With autocannons, I would mostly rely on a fit like this, where I can tank the ships orbiting close by, or that I can tank ships that are within my range. So far that has been working quite well without any problems. Okay, 4 more ships are left, focusing on that apocalypse. When I think about it, and when I look at the angel ship stats, they're actually built for PvP, and they're built for quickly arriving at the target location. Very impressive. These ships can be used for major fleet operations because of their speed and because of their weapon bonuses and because of their damage control bonuses, which are at the moment kind of rare in the game. Only angels have a common damage control bonus. You have other ships that have damage control bonuses, but Angel faction has that bonus on all of their ships. That is indeed very important, at least for me. The damage control can give you these 18 seconds of invincibility, and the damage control actually saved my Cinnabal from one specific PvP encounter that you are going to see hopefully very soon. Still collecting materials for it. And with that being said, well, it was nice to take this ship out for a spin. You can definitely expect more of the Machariel. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.